Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 25. Welcome to day 25. We only have a few more days left, five more for 30 days of straight lives here in the month of September. Just so blessed to be able to be here with you every morning. It has been an absolute joy. And today we are going to be diving into stewardship, of course, but stewarding your attention. Stewarding your attention. That may sound kind of weird. Stewarding your attention. Like, what does that even mean? Well, throughout this whole journey together over the last 25 days, we've been talking about different aspects of stewardship. And when you think about it, there's a lot that we get to steward. And so when I was coming across this recently of like really stewarding our attention, it was very, it kind of dawned on me of like, you know what? This is something that probably slips out of our fingers a lot of the time because we're not really thinking about it. It's more like it's just something grabs our attention and we go for it. And I want to tell you, not everything or everyone deserves your attention or needs your attention. For example, I was at the gym this morning and does anybody else get this? You're like, I feel like somebody's like staring at me or watching me or something. Like you just feel like you're like, I feel like somebody's watching me, that cue the song, right? Like I was feeling that this morning, and all of a sudden I just randomly look across the gym and I see somebody from across the gym staring. Happened again in the parking lot. And I'm just like I noticed it, took a quick glance, didn't give it much time, and then just refocused because I was like, what is that? And then after a while, if you start to notice things, it's like when I'm in the gym specifically, we'll stick on this stuff for a second. I'm focused there to pour into myself, not other people, most of the time. Now, there's some people I'll have conversations with, but I am there to steward my body, to get in, get my workout. When I get in there, I'm in at like 3:50 every morning, Monday through Thursday. Take Fridays off. Monday through Thursday, I get in there at 3:50 and I'm out by like 4:40 every day on the dot, on the dot, on the dot. So in that window, I am like, let's get it done. Let's get it done. Right. So there are people, there are things that will vie for your attention to break that focus, to break that concentration. And we need to learn to just cut it off. We need to learn to cut it off. What we really need to learn is discernment on what deserves our attention, what needs our attention, and what needs a no. No is really hard. It is. No is not easy. No is like, oh, okay. But when you say no to other things, you are going to be able to give a better yes to something greater. When you say no to things, you're going to be able to give a better yes to something greater, more time, more effort, more energy, more focus. If we say yes to everything, if everything takes our attention, then why we were there in the first place, gym, again, great example. If we are there talking to everybody else and paying attention to everything else rather than why we are there, to focus on getting a good workout, to focus on our body, to focus on just being able to get strong and get fit or what have you. If we let everything else take our attention, then it's like, why am I here? I'm not really getting anything done. And I know one of my biggest pet peeves is wasting time. You want to see me get hot? Waste some time. Ooh, drives me nuts. And I've had to learn to be a lot more gentle and a lot more kind. But like when people waste my time, it is a hot button. It is a hot button. And so there are a lot of people out there, and I always love saying this. I think it's so funny to say, but it also at the same time, it's true and it's frustrating. There are a lot of ask holes out there. A lot of ask holes. Asking all the things, coming back, asking the same thing again, coming back, asking the same thing again. And ask holes will steal your time. Like you might be on here being like, I know a few ask holes in my life. Maybe you're the ask hole. Notice I'm pronouncing the K pretty hard. Ask. So we don't get it misconstrued. But it's so true. There are so many leaks, so many ask holes, so many people that are willing to take your time to get something from you to then not really do anything with it at all. They are not stewarding that information. Then they come back again. You have to learn. People are going to tattle on themselves and they're going to show you like if they valued your time or not. If they're asking the same thing over and over and over again, right? Now there's a difference if somebody's asking the same question and they're out there actively trying to implement something. I see it all the time when it comes to mentorship. People be asking the same thing. The same thing. And if I see that there's progression, that I see if they're actively trying and putting in action, no problem. Like come all day. But if you aren't putting in the action, if you aren't doing what you were told or what somebody shared with you, to help you in the area that you needed support in, then don't ask the same question. You are now responsible to go take that information and henceforth go do something with it. Mary said this. She goes, someone watching you. That's creepy. No's are hard, but we need to just get it done. Yes, there are so many things trying to vie for our attention. So we need to learn where our attention needs to go in whatever moment that we're in, right? I don't know about you, but when I go on live, when I'm on a podcast, when I'm on meetings, my phones go on do not disturb. Otherwise, my eyes are going to go here, there, everywhere, looking at like, okay, who's messaging me? What does somebody need? Like I have to focus my attention. So really, actually, we all need a DND, do not disturb. Yeah, DND in our life. We need that button. We need to click it. We need to turn it on and let people know I am not available at this point in time. But when you turn it off, I'm available. Come on in, right? We all need that D&D button. And what's funny, actually, in my phone, I'm going to share with you. I think this is a tangent, but I think this is valuable. So we have D&D, right? But I have all these other notifications, or all of these other, they're not notifications. What do you call them? Buttons, I guess, for what am I pouring my time into? So do not disturbs at the top. Personal time, sleep, prayer, fitness, God time, driving automatically goes on. And then I even have a button where if I'm snuggling with my husband, if we're like taking a little nap, if we're sleeping in, like I'll put on my snuggles button. Yes, I have a snuggles button for my husband. I know that may sound silly, but you know what? I like to have it out there. I don't think people see it, but I see it. And yes, I'm going to take time to do that. So anyways, those are all things of like, here's where my attention is now. I cannot give it to you at the moment. We got to turn that button on, whatever that is. Those are my reminders of what time is it? Personal time, snuggle time, fitness time, God time. It's my reminder of this is the time that I'm in because things are always vying for your attention. So we get to learn to say no. We get to learn to put the boundary up. We get to learn that it's not going to be time for that thing right now, but later. We can always make time for something else later. We actually can make time for most things, but it's whether you find it valuable or not, whether you find it important or not. Truly. So we don't get to say yes to everything and everyone all the time. We don't. And we have to be able to draw that boundary. So a great question for you to ask yourself to write down to reflect on later is, what do I need to say no to? Where do I need to draw boundary lines of this is where I need to focus? Like my boundary of getting up in the morning, non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. There were times where maybe in the middle of the week, if there's like some special get together, we get home late, and I will only have 4 hours of sleep before I have to get up. It's happened several times. And I make a choice. Do I go to the gym and get up and have my quiet time or not? And I've chose the or not. And then my day is not great every time. Instead of me being like, oh, I'm not going to get enough sleep. This is going to be a long day. And I'm already prepping myself for it being hard. I'm not stewarding my attention on what I get to do. I'm stewarding my attention on how this is going to be harder, which we're made to do hard things. We can figure it out. When I only get 4 hours of sleep, if there's something going on, I'm like, okay, Lord, make this the best 4 hours and the deepest 4 hours. So when I get up, I'm ready. And you know what happens most of the time? I get up and I'm ready. It's how we focus our attention, what we think on grows. Like we get to make these calls for us. Like, oh, this is going to be hard. It's probably going to be hard. And you're going to be sluggish doing it. Or you know what? I'm going to give this the best of my ability. Let's maximize this time. Let's steward what we have. Let's do it. Right? So when it comes to stewarding your attention, I have a couple notes here. It takes discernment, big time. You've heard me talk a lot on these lives over the last 25 days of discernment. I think so many people are lacking in discernment. And discernment is really like, okay, what is that? What is your intuition telling you? What is the Holy Spirit whispering to you? And if you don't know what that is, if you haven't heard that in a while, you probably have turned it off. I turned mine off for a long time because I was going the wrong way for a while. And I didn't want to hear what the Holy Spirit said because it was going to make me go the other direction. I didn't want to. My pride and ego did not want to. But now I will never turn that off. I've shared this before. When I used to smoke weed for 10 years, there was, I believe, and I always get this, it's either in 2021 or 2022. I can't recall. I think it was 21, where I was part of a prayer and fasting group. And I was delivered in that moment by the Holy Spirit of when you smoke weed, you cut me off. and I did not want to be cut off from him anymore. So I dropped that bad habit instantly, tossed everything a couple hours later, like got rid of it. Got rid of it because I did not want to be disconnected anymore. It was not worth it to me. And because of that, as a result, anxiety healed, dream life healed. It was terror every single night in my dreams. I was actually able to dig down deep. Why am I anxious? So I turned my attention when I used to smoke weed. I need to smoke weed because I just need to calm down. I'm very high strung, or I'm just kind of anxious right now. Like I just need to chill out. Or I would even say this: it opens up my creativity. I would say that all the time to give myself justifications. All of those were just that, justifications. Didn't actually do most of those things and made things worse. And I got to this point. Did I see things in a different light? Absolutely. And it opened up creativity. And I'll also have access to the creator of show me what you've created. Show me what you see. I don't need to be in an altered state. My attention was focusing on something to get me there rather than someone. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Come on. There's some good nuggets in here today. So know what's stealing your attention. Know what is taking your attention away from the important things. Because again, when we can say no to things, it leaves room, time, and energy for what we say yes to. I meet so many people that say yes to way too many things, then they're overwhelmed, they're spread thin, they end up crashing and burning, and it takes them longer to accomplish things because they've said yes to too much. I recently had to have a hard conversation with somebody where we've had some hard conversations in our friendship, and I didn't know if the friendship was going to survive. And recently she wanted to have some group discussion on some drama going on in this group of ours. And I said, I'm happy to discuss with you one-on-one where you're at and walk you through things and be there. But my boundary is I won't get in a group discussion with other people. I just won't. I'm not going to get in a group discussion about this. Why is that my boundary? My boundary is that because that conversation is going to go nowhere fast and just ensue a lot of drama and not get anywhere. I already know. So I set the boundary. And I know this person doesn't like that. People don't like that. They want to be heard. They want to do it the way that they want. And that's that. However, that's not how I want to do things. And so if she wants to be able to talk this through, I'm happy to do it one-on-one. I even told this person, hey, I think it's better that you deal with this drama with this other person in this group privately instead of bringing it to everybody's attention. She disagreed. That's fine. Well, my boundary is I don't want to be in the group discussion. So when you think about these things, like that was not an easy no, but I knew it was a powerful no of here's my boundary. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. I have to be able to protect my time, my attention, and focus. And getting sucked into something else that I'm barely even a part of, like I am a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'll be here. I was like, no, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. So often I've caught myself saying yes to things because I want to help people. I'm a fixer. I'm a solutioner. Like I always want to bring a solution. Not everything deserves, or I can't say that deserves, not everything is asking for your solutions. It's not time all the time for solutions. Most people aren't ready because when you bring a solution to the table, there's going to have to be some flexibility, some sacrifice, some dying to self. So stewarding your attention is so important. Learning to say no. Not everything or everyone deserves your attention. So you have to really be able, in the same token of this, stewarding your focus. Like, what are you focusing on and what boundaries are you going to set up and non-negotiables you're going to set up to go after that? I see it all the time in network marketing. Oh yeah, we're going there. I see it all the time in network marketing. In our company being a network marketing company at Kingdom Alliance or any other network marketing company, I see it all the time. I've been in the industry for almost 10 years. Maybe actually it is 10. Anyways, I've seen so many people that are jumping in saying, oh, I want to make, $5,000, $10,000 in the next couple of weeks, couple months. I never hear people say I'm going to do it in a couple of years because, A, people don't have enough attention span to really focus on their skill sets I need to grow into in order to make that happen. They instantly say, I'm going to give this an unrealistic timeline. I'm just going to go off what I know. I'm not going to be open and coachable. Now, they're not saying those things, but their actions are. And then they don't get the results and they're like, this doesn't work. Instead, what about this? What about this? What if you looked at network marketing, for example, as your first year as an apprenticeship? You're getting in, You're learning the skills. You're alongside a mentor who's going to lead you. You're doing the work. You're checking in. There's a lot of jobs out there that require apprenticeships so you can get the hours in before you really start making money. Now, it's not that you can't make money, you'll just make less in the beginning, but it sets you up for success. It costs you time, it costs you money, and it costs you focus to really be able to focus in. What if people looked at network marketing that way? What if people looked at their coaching business that way? What if people looked at their marriage that way? Of this first year, what can I do to lean in to really learn? And find a couple who's been married way longer than you, decades, and lean in and learn from them. There's so many people that do it the hard way, and then they have unrealistic expectations. They really do. Now, you can't stop hard things from happening, but you can definitely gain wisdom to learn when they do happen. How am I going to respond? What am I going to focus on? Is somebody hearing what I'm saying here? Come on, this is so good. This is like the Lord just speaking through me right now. I feel it. I definitely feel it. So back to the network marketing piece. What if? What if? And I know a lot of people might be listening to this being like, network marketing. Guess what? We're all network marketers to a degree. We network with people. We connect with people. We help other people create sales because we love these products, whether it's a small business or Target or whatever. We all are networking all the time, and we're marketing ourselves all the time. Why not do it with something you love and you're passionate about? But the reason why the industry gets a bad rap most of the time is because people aren't willing to do what it takes to learn and put in the time. Anybody who is worth their weight in the industry and has really made great money and a great impact has been in for years and decades, but many for years before they really started making some great money. Most people. Give it time and learn, because there's so much to learn along the way. One of my favorite things about the industry is that it is the greatest development environment, the greatest training ground when it comes to leadership. And in Kingdom Alliance, it really truly is discipleship, building leaders that build leaders that build leaders. Started with the 12 in the Bible, and now there's billions across the world, billions that believe in Jesus. Or maybe millions. I don't know. A lot of people. Don't quote me on that. But the point is that we're all like that. So people they want to have their attention, talk about stewarding attention on the negative rather than what are the positives out of this. So ask yourself, what are some things that you're just you view negatively? Are there any positives about it? I'm always open to somebody shifting my perspective. Then I churn it up in my discernment. And I'm like, is this true for me? Do I believe this? Yes or no? Agree to disagree. But my attention is on okay, what do I believe? What can I learn? Let's be open until we make a decision. But I am usually always open until my discernment tells me go the other direction or do something else. That's how much I lean on discernment. Literally every decision. What I wear, what I say, what I do, everything. Doesn't mean it's perfect all the time. Definitely is not. I get into my feelings. I get into my emotions. I get into my flesh, just like everybody else. But I am so focused on, okay, I want discernment in this area to make the right choice. So being able to steward your attention, you have to learn to say no. Not everything or everyone deserves your attention. And you have to be aware. So ask yourself, where's my awareness on what's stealing my attention away from things that I need to be focused on? Truthfully. So Sharon says, love this, focusing on someone, not something. Yes. You have to, either way with that, there are so many distractions out there because the enemy wants to try to delay you, distract you, but he can't stop you. You can only stop you because you listen to the wrong voices. So ask for that discernment, ask for that awareness, and then go after it. And you'll probably be making different decisions for sure. So share what you're learning inside the comments, wherever you are. I'd love to hear what you're picking up, what you're learning. Dig into some of those reflection questions. I promise you won't regret it. And if you're watching the replay, put #replay. Thank you everybody for joining live across all different platforms here. And we will see you tomorrow for day 26. Bye everyone.